So my name is Dr. Mo Ogunrinde. I'm currently a GP and a SPIN fellow in North Central London. I'm currently using the AcuRx system integrated with AMIS in primary care. It's been quite interesting. It's definitely been a learning curve, I'd say. So in terms of working with virtual consultations, I definitely say that it's been a learning curve. It's been challenging, as anything is when you start it brand new. We all started with baby steps and quite unsure of what direction it was going to take. I remember the first day I was shown how to do a video consultation on AcuRx. I was definitely stunned. But now it's part of my daily practice, and I actually encourage patients to use it, and they're often very happy to know that video consultations are available, that I can have a look at the rash, I can actually see a baby, I can see, their parents, I can see them, and it definitely makes them feel a lot more comfortable. And it also makes me feel comfortable as well in this current climate that we're in with coronavirus. So in terms of things that have worked really well, I definitely say that speaking to a patient over the telephone, first of all, before sending them the invitation for a virtual consultation is so critical. A lot of people might have booked a video consultation in advance or would have said the day before that they wanted to arrange a video consultation. But the number of times that you send out the link for a video, but they're not in a place where it's appropriate for them to have a video consultation, or they're not at home, they're not with the children, when it was the children that you wanted to see, or it was their parents that you wanted to see, and they're the ones that know how to work the smartphone. It's so critical. So just a little bit of planning in advance definitely makes it a lot easier. Also having, your own space as well, well arranged, little things like that just makes it a lot easier as well in terms of clarity and making sure that you're presenting yourself in the right way. And in terms of tips and tricks as well, the AcuRx system is actually fantastic in terms of allowing patients to send pictures of dermatological conditions across, which can also be saved into EMIS. So that is actually quite fantastic because you can then have a look and compare things as well. So we're definitely moving in the right direction with virtual consultations and virtual clinics. And it does have some superior portions to it compared to how we were working in general practice several weeks ago before coronavirus hit. I think in terms of unexpected wins, it has actually been really interesting. It's been very positive. I was speaking to a colleague of mine a few days ago, and she said, I'm actually happy to continue doing general practice this way. And that's not something that I would ever have expected anyone to say at the beginning of February. And the reason for that is, when you start learning something new, when change comes initially, a lot of people are resistant to change. But once you start seeing the benefits of the experience or of the change and the implementations, then we will then start taking it on board. It definitely saves quite a lot of time in general practice, the virtual consultations. It streamlines the people that need to be brought into the surgery to be seen or engage in a physical examination as well. And being able to actually see the state of a person's home as well, especially when dealing with mental health conditions, when dealing with children, when dealing with families, actually gives you a lot of insight into the patient's coping mechanisms and what their social structures are like, which is so critical in general practice, which we don't often have a chance to do. And so usually we do home visits, and that would give us an insight into what the living conditions are like, but that's normally only limited to elderly patients. However, now we can do that with mental health. Now we could do that with children who are recurrently unwell. Now we can do that when there's suggestions of domestic violence or issues in relationships. Now we can do that when there's elderly patients that we're worried about their own social situations as well. And so although it's had its challenges, I think that has been quite a bit of a big win for me. And I'm definitely happy that we've been able to go in that direction, especially with mental health and understanding social situations, yeah. So So in terms of people finding it difficult to find private space at home, I've not actually encountered that. More often, I've actually encountered people who are working in healthcare situations who are trying to find a private space to talk because they don't have time to leave work or, to come in, and they definitely want to have a video consultation. And in those situations, it then becomes a situation of saying, actually, you know what, once you find a slot, just give me a call back and we can definitely have that conversation. And so sometimes it might be someone hiding in a storage locker at work, or, just having, quick time just to be able to have a conversation with their doctor. But in terms of home situations, so far it hasn't been too bad. I've had a lot of moms with a lot of noise in the background, with little children and young children, but that's absolutely fine. And, you just adapt to it. And sometimes we get a little bit of a quiet moment. And then sometimes, it's a baby crying or a child asking for a biscuit, but that's absolutely fine. And that is what life really is about. And actually hearing happy children in the background as well is also quite comforting for me as a GP.